Alright guys, it's Ben from Philly Sports Hour. Welcome back to another daily video. Today we're going to be discussing the Philadelphia Phillies 2020 season recap. At the start of this year, I made some predictions. Were they the best predictions? No, they were not. I predicted that Scott Kingery was going to be an all-star, even though he batted below 120. I predicted that Aaron Nola was going to win Cy Young. Aaron Nola doesn't show up for the season finale. I predicted JT Realmuto is going to be an all-star. I predicted that Bryce Harper is going to be an all-star, but that does not happen this year. Even though they probably would have made the all-star team if there was an all-star team. But that's not the main point. We're going to talk about the disappointment that the 2020 Philadelphia Phillies have gave us. So before we get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to Philly Sports Era. It mean the world to me. We hit 100 yesterday, but then someone unfollowed. So now we're back at 99. Not the best at all. But that doesn't matter because we're at home making content for Philly sports fans. Alright, so let's jump right back into it. So, coming into the season, the Phillies still had some holes. And I was aware of those. The holes like the bullpen. We came into the season with guys like Reggie McLean, Ramon Rosso, Tommy Hunter, Adam Morgan, all these guys like Nick Pivetta, all these trash bullpen pitchers. So I'm like, okay, the bullpen's probably going to be a problem, but it can't be that bad, right? Little did I know that we would have one of the worst bullpens in MLB history. And it really showed near the end of the year, blowing playoff potentially clinching games for the Phillies. So the bullpen was definitely the biggest problem in this year's catastrophe of a season. Another point was the starting pitching. Other than Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola, and maybe Zach Eflin, he had a couple solid starts in there, but everyone else was terrible. We had guys like Vince Velasquez. He had an awful year. He had like, two good games. I think it was against the Blue Jays and part of the Rays game. I think he pitched one of the Rays games, I believe. Make sure you correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I just think one of the biggest needs this offseason is get a third starter. Get a third starter behind Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. I know guys are available in trade and free agency. Guys like Mike Minor, solid third starter. Lance Lynn from the Rangers. We can trade for guys like, I don't know, let's just throw a name out there. Maybe Corey Kluber. Maybe. I know he didn't have the best year in Texas, so maybe we can steal him for a couple prospects. Who knows? Who really knows? But I know if Clentak's still the manager, that's not going to happen. General manager. Speaking of manager, Girardi struggled his first year in Philadelphia with either putting in the wrong bullpen options or pulling the pitcher too early. He didn't do a lot of that last year as much as Kabler did last year. But Girardi definitely, like Ricky Pitalico on all these post games, he always criticized Girardi for pulling these pitchers way too early. And I gotta agree that Girardi pulls them, and then they put in one of the burst. He loves Brandon Workman. He throws him in there. Workman gives up home runs almost every single outing. He had that costly one against the Nationals, the walk-off home run. That was terrible. We should have won that game. We scored. Like, all right, Workman coming in. Out of the park. Terrible. So, circulating back to the starting rotation, get that third starter. So, let's just say that we get, I don't know, Mike Minor or Corey Kluber. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Corey Kluber. Then we got Zach Eflin, and then Vince Velasquez. No, then we got Spencer Howard. Eflin and Howard will probably compete for that 4-5 spot. But that starting rotation could look a lot better next year. I'm not too deep into any bullpen options for this offseason. I heard a couple stuff about the Phillies potentially pursuing Josh Hader from the Milwaukee Brewers at the trade deadline. The asking price on that's going to be huge. I'm not sure if Mike Clevenger is going to hit free agency. If he does, then we'll definitely pursue him. Guys like Kenley Jansen from the Dodgers, year, so we could pick him up. David Robinson's going to be gone. Sir Anthony hopefully will be healthy. So this bullpen can look a lot different next year also. We just have to get a new general manager. So, shifting gears to the offense. Terrible. I mean, they were okay, but runners in scoring position they still struggled with. So, offense, obviously Didi Gregorius had a great year with the Philadelphia Phillies. If he played a whole year in Philly, maybe 30-plus home runs. A lot of guys could have hit 30-plus home runs this year. So, talking about free agency regarding the offense, I think we should re-sign Didi Gregorius for like a 1-year contract extension, maybe 1-2 years until Bryson Stott comes up, or Casey Martin. Will he sign back here? Probably not. Probably not. If we just offer him like a 1-year deal, about $10 million, he's not going to accept that. After a strong performance this year, he's going to see an offer from a team that's going to be 5+ years, probably go over $100 million, because he played great this year. 10 home runs? He wasn't as good as he was in the defensive point of view, but he got it done with the bat. He was very clutch for the Phillies, especially early in the year with the Orioles and the Marlins Grand Slam. Some memorable, voice crack, very memorable moments in the short Didi Gregorius career with the Phillies. JT Realmuto, the best catcher in baseball, BCIB. Will he re-sign with the Phillies? Yes, he will. As long as we give him a contract to sign, he will sign it. I don't see him signing elsewhere unless the Phillies don't offer him a contract. Clentak most likely on his way out. Middleton's weighing his options. So hopefully we see Clentak out. Hopefully this new guy actually has a brain and re-signs the guy we traded Sixto Sanchez, Jorge Alfaro, and Will Stewart for. It makes no sense. Why would we not re-sign JT Realmuto? It makes no sense. Clentak, very unqualified for his job. Can't think straight at all. So, I mean, that pretty much recaps the 60-game season. A couple words to describe it. Disappointing, frustrating, and not surprising. Phillies came into the season with big holes. Clentak did not fill them at the trade deadline at all. He got David Phelps, and every single outing he gave up a home run, pretty much. Same with Workman. We traded Connor Siebold for 2 absolute scrubs in Hembury and Workman. Now we're just traded Siebold for nothing because you know those guys are not going to be back next year. Clentak, he's really bad. It's so frustrating what this team could have been. Well, that's about do it for this Philly Sports Era video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for the support. Get me to 100 subscribers. I'm at 99. Make it happen, guys. So, go Phillies. Go Birds, I guess. Hopefully they don't disappoint us again this weekend. I'll have a preview on that. So have a great day, guys.